Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Susan. Happy birthday to you. Finally, the video is complete for your yoga training session between our sessions. And before we start, I'd like to wish you a happy birthday, and I hope you can use this yoga sequence frequently for your own practice, for your own development. And let me run through the props that I've gathered together today. Firstly, for a strap, I'm just using an old scarf. For a block, I've got a tissue box. And for a bolster, I have a set of pillows. So you can see that the sequencing can be done fairly easily using props that you have around at home. So come into a comfortable seated position on the chair. Have your strap handy. Come to the edge of the chair just to feel how you are this morning or this afternoon. Close the eyes, notice the sensations. Allow the shoulders to sink down. Chest forward, shoulders back. Start to soften the breath. Allowing each new breath to deepen, coming into that diaphragmatic breath. And as you work through today's practice, you'll notice that the practice can easily divide into two halves. The first half can be used as a half-hour session, preparing you for the second half. So if you want to just do half a session at a time, you can. And just listen to your body. And work with what's happening today. Inhale, start to lift the arms up, moving through the 6 directions of the spine. Exhale, bringing the hands down to the knees, shoulders forward, drawing the navel in. Bring the shoulder blades apart, all on one exhale. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, folding forward. And use that breath today to really work with the poses. And then moving into the lateral extension and flexion of the spine as you drop the left hand over. The ear comes down towards that shoulder, feeling that right rib cage open up. Inhale, center, exhale, opposite side. And you'll notice I'm not using music today. I've done that on purpose so that you can create your own soundtracks and just put on your own music for each class that you use whenever you're using this video. And then moving into the gentle rotations of the spine, start with the gentle twist, just sliding the hand back on the exhale, inhale forward. Exhale, opposite side. Just noticing if you can deepen the rotation with each new twist. And start to add the neck, the cervical twist, looking behind that rotated shoulder. The next time you come to neutral, grab your strap and bring that strap underneath the ball of the foot. You can lean back into the chair if you wish, as we start to bring the toes back towards the shin. And as you bring the toes back, you'll feel that hamstring and calf stretch. And then start to lift and lower that leg, extending the knee out, starting to work the joints as well, preparing yourself for our work today. Two more on this left side. Notice I'm mirroring you. This is my right side, but I'm going to call it the left side. And really remember to bring those toes back as you slowly release and come to the opposite side. Start with just an extended hold. You can lean back into the chair. That will give you more support. Or if you want a little more core work, you simply bring the back off the back of the chair. That way the hip flexors will be working as the core is also. And then start to move into those extensions of the knee, remembering to keep the toes back. Using the breath with the motion to keep you focused. Next time you extend, hold, and then gently release. Putting the strap to one side for a moment, let's start to move into the rotations of the hip as you take that left knee out to the side and exhale back. Starting to feel that rotation in the hip today. And the opposite side. Got to admit, this is a great idea for a birthday gift. And remember, this video is really for your private use. You can share it with others as you wish. But it's something that only you will have access to, and those that you choose to allow that access. Now the next time you come to neutral, we're going to come into twisted root. And twisted root involves, and make sure that you have your strap handy in twisted root. Twisted root, you can lean back in the chair and you're squeezing the thighs together, you're squeezing the outer calves together, and you're endeavoring to twist or hook this left foot underneath that right calf. If you can't, that's fine. You're just working on this squeezing. So we're condensing the front of the hips, but we're opening the back of the hips. Take the strap, wrap it around the hands nice and wide, and then inhale, lifting up, working a little shoulder rotation here. Exhale, come down. So while the hips are working in that eagle leg pose, the strap is working the shoulders. Inhaling as you lift. Exhaling as you rotate down. If you want to go a little deeper with that strap over the shoulders, you can open it up a little more and bring it down behind the back. So that's a little deeper. That's something you can work towards. Notice I'm keeping the arms straight. There is a tendency for us to bend the elbow here. Keep the elbows straight. Really working that joint. Then exhale, release, and change feet. You'll notice on this side, my foot is a lot tighter on this side, so I don't have that same squeezing action. So I just work where the foot is, that's where the foot is. Inhaling left, either into that 90-degree rotation, or coming all the way behind. And again, you can be reclined back into the chair or sitting up straight. Focus on that squeeze with the thighs, so you're working on that adduction of the legs. Oh, feels great. And then come to stillness. And just take a moment to notice how you feel into the practice. Put the strap to one side. Come into that tall spine, shoulders back and relaxed. And then start to begin to stir the pelvis with that tall spine. As if the pelvic bowl is like a big pot of soup and the spine is the big spoon, stirring you in all directions. Just noticing how far the head wants to come down and lift back. Noticing how the lower back feels as you come forward, how the neck feels as you come back, and the shoulders. At one point, you can reverse that stirring motion and come in the opposite direction. And then come to stillness. Take a moment to take 2 or 3 breaths to feel the body, to notice your energy. And then look for your block, which could be a box of tissues. Voila. Put the box of tissues out in front of you as you come to the edge of the chair once again, preparing for our forward bends. And with the forward bend, start with the slight hinge as the elbows come onto the knees. Eyes become soft, gazy. Forward bends and forward hinges tend to be introspective, calming postures. Start to feel that inner attention as you relax. Let the head bow, the chin comes down towards the sternum, feeling a lengthening in the neck. And a relaxation. Now the hands can come down to the block or to the carpet or the floor, remembering to let the head and neck relax. In this first level, I'm going to push the box out away from me, reaching through the shoulders, bringing the head back down to look at the floor, neck relaxed. Downward dog. Take 3 breaths here. Slowly walk the hands back. Tabletop. Palms pressing into the earth. Hands spread wide. Lots of room between the legs to let my belly come down without being squished against the thighs. 3 breaths here. And then finally, if you want to go to that last level, start to slide the hands back to the legs of the chair, and securing a firm grip on those legs, you can bend the elbows and pull yourself closer to the chair, or simply reach out and touch, just depending on your body's openness today. 3 breaths here. Slowly release. Bring that hand back. Bring the elbows up and drop the head and neck. Slowly walk your shoulders back. Close the eyes for a moment and notice how you feel. Notice your energy. What has that forward bend done for you today? Come back to the breath. As we start to prepare for our chair to mountain pose, Utkatasana chair pose to Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale, lift the hands up, and as you exhale, bring those hands forward. Start to lift the sit bones off the chair into Utkatasana. 3 breaths. On the next inhale, start to slowly stand up. As you exhale, drop the hands beside you, spiral the thumbs behind you, shoulder blades come back, shoulders back, chest forward, pelvis forward, strong legs. Lift the arches of the feet, head back. Tadasana, mountain pose. The sound of that snow plow outside, so you can tell which season this was obviously invented, this movie, this film. Inhale, hands lift up. As you exhale, soften the knees, start to press the hips back. You know the chair is back there. As you exhale, coming down very, very slowly until you feel the sit bones on the chair without plopping. Exhale into seated Tadasana. 3 breaths. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Utkatasana. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Tadasana on the chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come up. Utkatasana. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Tadasana. And from here, let's move into a little breath of joy, feeling the breath today. With the breath of joy, taking the 3 movements of the arms forwards, sideways, forwards, and as you exhale, come down, throw the hands behind you, being careful not to hit the chair. So if you have to move away from the chair, do so. Inhale. Allowing the momentum to build, getting a little faster each time. Last one. 1. And lift up, hold up, open the eyes, extend the hands to heaven, big wide open face, open the mouth and stick the tongue out into lion's breath and go. Try that once more. Deep inhale, open the eyes, open the mouth, stick the tongue out. And notice how you feel after breath of joy. Exhale, float the hands down. Bring the hands together in prayer position, Samatiti. Pose of attention. Who are you in this moment? And just stepping to the side of the chair, using the chair as a prop. We're going to practice a little bit on our balancing pose today with Vrikshasana, tree pose. Inhale, lift that right knee up. Exhale, open it out to the side. Inhale, back. You could try that with or without the chair, but knowing you've always got your hand there ready to feel the chair there for support. The next time you open, decide where do you want to bring that leg. Do you want to bring it above the knee, pushing that foot against the thigh? And when the foot is pressed against the thigh, increase the standing strength of that standing leg. Really feel rather than push the hips out to the left, bring the hips in and stand up nice and tall. Bring the shoulders back. Option to look for your balance here. Alternatively, that foot could be down on the calf, below the knee. Again, you want that standing leg to be strong and not to collapse. Use the breath to stay focused. Find a drishti point, perhaps testing how your balance is on this side or not. And knowing as you stand in this tree pose, the heat will start to build in that standing leg, that standing ankle, and use the breath to allow the sensations to build without letting the mind start to wander or wonder. Your branches can be in any direction. They can be out to the side, above, steeple pose, prayer. And again, one hand can be doing that while the other hand supports you. 3 more breaths. Mona Lisa, smile. Exhale, release. And bring both feet together, hands in prayer position, Samatiti. Without shaking that foot out, allow the sensations to simply dissolve. Dissolve to the sound of that snow plow scraping out there. I'm sure when this is playing in the summer, you'll get a giggle out of that. Let's change sides. Bringing that chair over or coming to the other side of the chair. Inhale, lifting that left knee up, and take that standing leg, make sure it's strong and the hip is not bending as you do that. Inhale, open out to the side. And just working with that foot, feeling the strength of that standing leg. The next time you bring it out, choose which level do you want that foot on, either above the knee or below the knee, or perhaps right down here into bonsai tree where the ball of that left foot is on the ground. Again, you have the support of the standing chair and the options of the arm positions today. And balance is one of those tricky things. One day you can feel very centered, very balanced. On another day, it can be challenging. Today, being on the carpet makes it a little more challenging to remain centered because the carpet tends to have that give, unlike the wooden floor at the studio. Five more breaths here. And exhale, release. Close the eyes, Samatiti, pose of attention. Now, if you wanted to break this film up into two parts, this could be part one, where we've come through the flow. Well, let's come back to the chair in our conscious way. Inhale, lift. Exhale, gently bend the knees. Bring the hips back. And float the hands down into Tadasana, seated Tadasana, with the option to stay here and meditate as part one. So if you wanted to turn the video off and use this as part one, you can. Otherwise, we'll move straight into part two, which is the warrior flow. Inhale, lift that left knee out, bring that left foot out facing to the left. Adjust the sit bones so that the right sit bone comes off the seat. Extend that right foot behind you, heel pressing back, hips square. Warrior one. Hand can remain on the chair as that right hand comes up, or you can bring both hands up, warrior one. Breathing. Exhale, float the hands down. Come back to center. And just notice the difference between each side of the body after Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale, float to the other side, extending that left leg behind you, squaring off the hips. Get yourself nice and centered on that seat. Only one sit bone is on the seat, the other is extended behind me. Virabhadrasana 1 with one or both hands raised up. Trying to extend that back leg, hip square. Mona Lisa smile. 3 breaths here. Exhale, release. Now we can work this rotation back to center without bringing the hands down onto the chair, starting to use the core and engage the core more, or we can use the hands for support. Inhale, opposite side, rotating with or without the hands supporting you. Warrior one to that left side. Now to come to warrior two, that left hand can come down to the chair or not as you drop that right heel down and start to rotate towards the screen. Extend the hands out parallel to the ground, front hand, back hand equal. That back foot slightly rotated forwards at the toes, a little pigeon-toed, as the outer edge of that right foot pushes into the ground. That left knee tracks to the left, the right shoulder back. So you get that nice chest opening facing the screen, and then rotate the head over those front fingertips. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, come to the center and just notice how the body feels. Inhale, lift the hands, rotating warrior one opposite side. Extend that left heel down, hips nice and square. Exhaling, dropping that left heel down as you prepare by bringing that left shoulder back so you're facing the screen. Right knee tracking to the right. Extend those hands out nice and parallel to each other, to the floor. Extending that right hand out, looking out over that right hand. Using the breath to stay focused. And exhale, release as you float those hands down. Virabhadrasana 1 and 2. Moving into Virabhadrasana 3 in that sequence. Inhale, lift. As you exhale, float to the left, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, bring that left hand down onto the chair and start to stand up, straightening that front leg. And as you do, start to bring the weight forward, resting that left hand onto that chair. Right hand extended, noticing that right arm and that right leg in one long straight line. The toes of that right foot pointed down towards the floor, keeping the hips nice and square. Over time, you might like to play with the balance and bring that left hand out into your full expression of warrior 3. Exhale, slowly bend that knee, start to come down, bringing that back foot down. Hands lifted, exhale, float the hands down onto the knees. Noticing how the body feels after Virabhadrasana 1, 2, and 3. Preparing for the other side. As you inhale, lift those hands up. Exhale, float around to that right side, extending that left leg back, warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Deep breath in. As you exhale, open up Virabhadrasana 2. Float back, warrior 1. And in this one, preparing for warrior 3, take that right hand down to the chair so that you have a nice support. And as you exhale, bring that right foot back a little bit closer to the chair as you start to lift yourself up, using the hand to support you. Lift that left leg up behind you, fingertips of that right hand pressing into the chair. Extend the right hand out, trying to get that back foot and front arm even, rotating that right hip towards the ground. Standing legs strong. eyes gazing down at a drishti, and then just adjusting your hands on the chair as needed, perhaps endeavoring to let go of the chair for a momentary balance sequence here. Warrior 3. Exhale, release as you float that hand back down to the chair, bending that front knee, extend that right leg back, Warrior 1. Inhaling, floating back to the center. Feeling that flow, that sequence of Virabhadrasana 1, 2, and 3. And in part 1 of this video, we did a flow, a sequence of Tadasana to Utkatasana to Vrikshasana, from chair pose to mountain pose to tree pose. So what we're going to do is see if we can combine those two flows into one flow. Inhale, lift the hands. As you exhale, lift the sit bones, Utkatasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, turning to the left. Bring that left hand down onto the leg of the chair as you lift that right leg up. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Exhale, release as you come into Tadasana. Exhale. And then rotate back in front of the chair as you lift up. Inhale, exhale, coming into Utkatasana. Inhale, lift. As you exhale, rotate that left knee and bring back that right foot. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, open up, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, dropping that left hand as you start to float up. Virabhadrasana 3. Inhale, coming back, Vira 1. Exhale, Vira 2. Inhale, come to center. As you inhale, lift. Exhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, float to the other side, to the left as you grab the chair. Raise that, to your right as you raise that left leg up, pressing that heel into that standing leg or the standing calf. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Exhale, release as you come into Tadasana. And then float in front of the chair again. Exhale, floating the hands up, Utkatasana, as you slowly come down. Chair pose. All the way down to the chair as you bring those sit bones down. Rotate that right leg behind you. Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Vira 1. And then taking that right hand down onto the chair as you start to stand up, taking the weight into that front leg, lifting that left leg, Virabhadrasana 3. Inhale, drop that back foot, drop the sit bones to the chair, Vira 1. Exhale, Vira 2. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, come up, Utkatasana. Inhale all the way, Tadasana. Exhale, floating to the left as you grab that chair, lifting that right foot up, out to the side, Vrikshasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale in front of the chair as you exhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, float to the chair, seated Tadasana. Float that left knee around, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Virabhadrasana 1. Then standing Vira 3. Inhale, Vira 1. Exhale, Vira 2. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Tadasana, seated. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, Vira 1. Exhale, dropping that right hand, lifting that left leg, Vira 3. Inhale, Vira 1. Exhale, floating back to the center, Tadasana. Close the eyes. Float the hands towards the center. And just notice. Notice that combination of vinyasa. Exhale, slowly release as we prepare for our restorative session, as you can move the chair out of the way. And grab your bolsters. Now again, your bolsters can just simply be pillows. They don't have to be anything fancy. I'm going to rotate. I'm going to have 2 pillows underneath the spine. I'm going to have a third pillow just to use as a possibility to rest my head on. I'm moving my sheets here. As I come down to the ground, bending the knees. Now it's important to bend the knees and bring the knees together, the feet apart, the feet in pigeon toe. And then slowly I start to come down and bring my head back onto the pillows. Palms face up, allowing the eyes to start to gently close. You might like to take your strap and cover your eyes, which is going to reduce the stimulation to the brain, starting to assist that shift into the parasympathetic nervous system. Noticing how the body feels as it comes down after all that work, all that hip opening. Using this constructive pose with the legs, with the knees together, might be nice after all that hip opening. If you did want more hip opening, you could always bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to splay out to the sides. Coming back to your breath. Or you simply could extend the legs out. Allowing the shoulders to settle. the sounds in your environment merge and blend with the sound of your own breath. Allowing the sounds of the environment to blend with the sound of our own breath can often create a sense of harmony, of resonance. And whenever we come into this restorative part of the session, that harmony, that resonance is very important to create, so the body can really feel safe and relaxed. Using the breath, slow, deliberate exhales through the pursed lips to help soften the body. Using the breath even as you relax deeply. You can at one point let go of all breath techniques, allowing the jaw to hinge open, releasing all the pressure of the lips. Allowing the sounds to come and go. But you remain present, soft and open. Allowing the sounds to be part of the process as you keep letting go. Take a moment to bend the elbows and bring the hands to rest on the belly. And decide if you want to remain in this position, this extended back bend, for the rest of the practice, or if you want to join me in meditation as we transition slowly from this position. And noticing that on some days you may want to choose, your guts will tell you to choose meditation. And some days your guts will say, no, I just want to stay here. Try to get used to this decision-making process using the body's intuition rather than figuring it out with any shoulds or shouldn'ts. One way to test this is to notice when you think of meditation, does the body tense up or relax? If you think of extending the back bend, does your body feel relieved or a little agitated, wanting to move? We'll always go with that expanded, relaxed feeling as the feeling of evidence. As you slowly bend the knees, if you're coming up, bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Extend the right arm out to guide you as you roll off the bolster. Extending that left leg away from you as you slowly press yourself up into a seated position. And you can use your bolsters, your pillows to sit on, unless you're remaining in that extended back bend. Taking all the time in the world as you slowly come up into a comfortable seated position. Noticing how the body feels. And then relaxing once again into that tall spine, shoulders back. Noticing the breath. Allowing the body to soften. Is often experienced by the mind as an invitation to let go. Let go of judgments. To let go of the figuring mind, that mind that wants to analyze, work out and fix things. Letting the belly be soft, relaxed. simply allowing everything to be as it is. Letting go. Start to gently deepen each new breath. Once again, becoming aware of the environment, the sounds, the smells, the sound of your own breath. And whether you're lying or sitting, start to make micro movements with the hands. And if you're lying down, just use these next few minutes to transition slowly to come to a seated position. And if you're in a seated position, simply lift the hands above the head. Exhaling, bringing the hands down the front of the body, feeling the thumbs caress the forehead, the nose, the chin, the throat, down to the heart. And trying that once again. Adding the sound of Om to the exhale. Exhale. Om. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Happy birthday, Susan.